Week 2 of the SFLm rolls on here from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy and also home to the SFLm's Navigators. They will welcome in the Ottawa Cavalry for a Week 2 matchup of the minor league here in the SFL. Eric Vincent here, Jack Brown there. Welcome in, Jack.
Hello there, Eric. How's it been going?
It's been fantastic. Looking forward to calling another one of these great minor league games. Got to call Ottawa's game last week, actually, and it was a bit of a defensive slugfest. And it was the same with Annapolis as well. Annapolis only scoring 7 points just a week ago. So hopefully we'll get some points scored here from both of these ball clubs.
Yeah, one can only hope, but, you know, it's the SFLm. A lot can happen. And last week, obviously, for Ottawa, coaching debut of Robert Cherry. He got his win last week. Meanwhile, for Annapolis, they didn't quite win, but they still had a very good performance. It should be a very interesting ball game. Two teams aspiring for a lot still early in the season. I'm interested to see where this goes.
And we will definitely have to see how everything pans out, as it looks like Ottawa will get the football to start things off here this evening. And we got the ball on the tee, hands in the air, and we are ready to go here from Annapolis. Fielded from about the 10. Good blocking here on the inner sideline, and that'll get out to close to the 40-yard line. And that is where Ottawa will kick things off at the 38 with John Lakeman at the helm.
Yeah, John Lakeman had himself a decent game last week. Didn't have the most flashy of a game, but he still has a lot to show, and he has a good unit around him.
He's got several weapons that are two-way players in the SFL Major Leagues. We will get to them in just a moment. We'll start off with an offside eye for Lakeman. He's going to sling it out to the near sideline, and that's going to be a catch for a minimal gain to Dwayne Salmons, his running back. We'll get a look at the rest of the offense for the Cavalry. John Lakeman, number 9 at quarterback. Dwayne Salmons, we just saw him, number 23 at running back. Michael Knight, Isaiah King IV, and Azami Mihata are the three weapons that we mentioned earlier that are all two-way players in the major league. So lots of weapons for Lakeman to work with on 2nd and 9. Lakeman, with plenty of time, finds a crosser over the middle, couldn't quite reel it in. And that was number 44, the tight end, Sean Baker, that couldn't quite make the catch.
Yeah, it just went right through his hands. Unfortunate for Lakeman. So that was a decent throw. It was a decent throw. I'll give him that.
Good throw.
Yeah, it's just Sean Baker dropped it.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Potato, tomato.
Those aren't the same.
Huh. 4 wide, trips towards the top of the formation. Lakeman in the empty set. He's going to fire it. Top of the screen, got him in and couldn't quite get the foot in bounds. That was Michael Knight, the Sioux Falls Sparrow, who has a playoff game coming up starting tomorrow. We will get a look at those matchups here a little bit later on. And it looks like the Cavalry are challenging the call.
Yeah, Robert Cherry clearly thinking differently than what R62 ruled on the football field. Let's see what the legendary R62 has to say.
I looked in real time. He didn't quite get it in. Maybe he did?
No.
Nah. No chance, Battles.
The play stands. The pass was incomplete. The catch was made out of
And Jay Hayden is happy along the Annapolis sideline there as Ottawa is charged a timeout after the failed challenge. So the Cavalry will have to punt, and Annapolis will get their first crack at the football.
Yeah, that's good defensive showing from Annapolis on those first 3 plays. Obviously, both these teams had very good defenses last week. Now we'll see what Ottawa can do on defense after this and after the punt coming up from K.L. Barrett Jr.
Jr. does get the football away. Good hang time. Hits about the 20-yard line, and Annapolis will get a 4-yard return out to the 24. And we will see Gene Struthers take over. 6'6", 225, great build here for the quarterback coming back for another season in the minor leagues.
Yeah, Struthers, he's one of those guys who's been around here for a long time. He has a very built-up player, you know. And especially in a draft where a lot of quarterback spots are open, a lot of big spots are open, I'd be surprised if he doesn't go this year.
He sets up in the gun, pressure coming in his face, and he's going to get hit as he got rid of the football, and that falls incomplete. Looks like that was Liam Howard getting in there and giving the pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, that was a good job from Howard, just charging through. Didn't quite get the sack, but that was on the awareness of Gene Struthers just to get the ball out of the hands just in the nick of time.
That sets up second down. Still going empty here. Couple receivers in the formation for Struthers to work with. He'll take the snap. Throw a bit of a wobbler over the middle and incomplete. Receiver couldn't quite make the catch, and then there were a couple defenders in the area that could have easily taken the football away. But Annapolis gets a shot at third down.
Yeah, Cody Tanaka, I think, was the guy who had the last hands on the ball. Last person who could have possibly caught it. But unfortunately, he didn't. It falls to the ground incomplete. 3rd and 10 for Annapolis.
We'll see the first running back in the formation. Single back is going to be Chris Grant Jr. Struthers with time. Got to throw it over the middle. Caught. First down yardage out across the Annapolis 34-yard line. And that catch was made by Ronnie Shanahan, the DC Dragon in the major leagues, who also has a playoff game coming up later on.
Yeah, Shanahan, the small guy, coming out and making the big play. You know, one of the advantages that small guys can have here in the minor leagues is that they can just power through with their sheer speed.
Struthers back to the gun, 3 wide. Takes the snap. Going to fire it far sideline. Good out route. Catch made. And that is number 17, Goldie Morrison, 6'2", 192. And we'll get a quick look at the rest of the offense for the Navigators here. Gene Struthers at quarterback. Chris Grant Jr., the halfback. And Lars Bazar, the newest signing here at fullback for the Navigators. Ronnie Shanahan, Goldie Morrison, and Joel Harleman at tight end for the Navigators. 2nd and 6, Struthers going to sling it out, and he's got number 44 out there. The catch was made by Harleman, the tight end, and it's going to be a 3rd and 4 coming up here.
Back-to-back plays, back-to-back catch by Joel Harleman. Been making himself known down here, especially since he's another one of the two-ways on this receiving core.
3rd and short, I formation. Struthers shuffles, throws it over the middle, incomplete. And again, couldn't quite make the connection. That was the newest signing, Bazar, who couldn't quite reel in the catch, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Annapolis will have to punt now.
Yeah, they always teach you to high point the football whenever you're throwing it. Unfortunately, Gene Struthers high pointed it a little bit too high, actually. And it was just out of the range of Lars Bazar to catch it.
More like a volleyball set at that point. Couldn't quite reel that one in. So Pete Ellis will go ahead and punt the football away for the Navigators. And the Cavalry will get another crack at the football with 8:25 left to go at their own 29-yard line. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Second opportunity for Lakeman and the Cavalry. Looks like maybe a free play here, and a good run there by Sammons as he's off to the races. Almost slips the defender there. And the last-ditch effort made by Gino McFly dragged him to the turf, but I don't think it's really going to matter as it was an offsides play anyway.
Yeah, but in Ottawa, I was just going to take the yards, though. Great run there from Sammons. He just got into the open space. Gino McFly, though, with the great pursuit and just getting him down behind. He's definitely got to look out for within the draft.
So a fresh set of downs for Ottawa, their first of the ball game. Lakeman with a back on either side of him in the gun. 3 wide. Hand off to Salmons, who goes right up the middle for a good chunk of yardage. Be about 5 or 6 yards out to the Annapolis 40-yard line. Get a look at the Navigators defense quickly. LL Volt, Jupiter Gino, Gino McFly, all along the front 7 there. LL Volt, the defensive end, Juno and McFly, the linebackers. Adam Knoll, JW Hartshorn are the corners. Will Stern, Ibari Eamon Eaglin, John Patrick Levine are all the safeties. 2nd and 4, handoff again to Salmons, and he gets first down yardage out to the Annapolis 35-yard line.
And it seems to be that Ottawa has just found their rhythm, just starting to slowly grind it out. Get those little yards here and there. Not too much is needed.
And Salmons was a bit of a bell cow a week ago, too. Had 32 carries, averaged just north of 3 yards a carry, so didn't do a ton with each run, but he did just enough. And a delay here for Salmons. This time the Navigators are ready for it, and that's McFly getting in there with the TFL.
McFly, this is going to sound really cheesy, but he comes flying in into the backfield to make that tackle on Dwayne Salmons and grinds him to a halt behind the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 11.
Single back is Salmons, Lakeman under center. Another delayed handoff, and got tattooed this time back behind the line. Big number 57, Tristan Otello getting in there and making a huge tackle.
Yeah, it seemed to me that the blocking just kind of was all over the place. It didn't seem like they really had a cohesive plan on that play. And so it just allowed Otello to come barging through. 3rd and 14.
Lakeman getting aired out. Got a man inside the 20. They'll mark him right down at the 20-yard line, and that's Michael Knight redeeming himself for not getting that foot inbounds earlier.
Yeah, Michael Knight, a huge reception for the Sioux Falls two-way. Going to be playing a game tomorrow as he flies back into Canada to head off to Vancouver to play the Legion.
First and 10 now with less than 6 to go here in the opening frame. Lakeman under center, 2 back behind him. Handoff, and Salmons goes nowhere again. This is a lot of what we saw last week for the Cavalry as far as the rushing attack goes. A couple big runs by Salmons here and there, but overall, not a whole lot to speak of.
Yeah, but I mean, that's sort of back that Robert Cherry likes to use Dwayne Salmons as, just a guy who gets a few yards every time. It's the old Big Ten style football, you know?
It is indeed, as he gets another carry. 7 carries now for about 33 yards. And that's going to bring up another 3rd and long.
And that's Jupiter Juno with the tackle. These Annapolis linebackers have been extremely effective so far, Eric.
Yep, they've been getting a lot of push up front. They've been making sure to cause disruption with the run game. And they're forcing Ottawa into another 3rd down as a result. Play action this time. Lakeman in trouble, finds his man past the yard to gain, and that's going to be down at the 6-yard line. Michael Knight, once again, Johnny on the spot, sets up 1st and goal.
And, that was kind of an interesting play there from Lakeman. You see the play action, kind of does a little stutter step, almost rolls out of the pocket, but finds Michael Knight right in the nick of time to complete the throw.
And honestly, he might have seen Knight on the crosser there. He might have seen him get free just at that exact moment. Had the presence of mind to set his feet and throw the football as Salmons struggles to get out of the backfield and will not. As that was Mike Olson, another one of the linebackers getting in there. So the Navigator linebackers still looking good.
Yeah, they are eating up tonight. Coming and flying through the backfield. The 3-piece unit here has been ferocious.
Offset eye this time. Lost a couple yards back to the 8-yard line. 2nd down. Delay. Salmons again doesn't get out of the backfield. Seems like the Navigators are teeing in on that run game, and they're doing it in a hurry as LL Volt and company get in for the stop.
Yeah, but now this is kind of another dangerous situation where Ottawa, for the past 2 sets of downs, have been third and relatively long, and they need a pass, and unfortunately, Annapolis hasn't been able to stop that yet.
Lakeman, plenty of time, over the middle, caught, touchdown Cavalry.
And it happens for a third straight set of downs. Annapolis gets 2 really good tackles for loss. And then on the third time, Ottawa is able to find a man wide open. That's Harry Harper, just wide open in the end zone. I'm surprised Annapolis played so few guys in the end zone, considering the fact that that's all they need to do. They just need Ottawa to not get into the end zone.
And that was kind of the story of that drive defensively for Annapolis. Did a great job stopping the run, stopping the bread and butter that Ottawa likes to use, but then couldn't quite get off the field. And that makes it 7-0 now for Ottawa as they jump out to an early lead.
Yeah, and Eric, honestly, like if you can't be a good third down defense, a lot of times you're just not going to be a good defense in general. First and second down, tackling guys there can be good at all, but if you can't stop on third down, you're going to end up in positions like this where you give up those big chunk plays, and it's put Annapolis down 7-0 early.
You are correct, good sir, and that puts the offense in a position to try and even things up now. Fielded from about the 5. And spin move will make it up to the 23-yard line. And we'll see the Navigators offense come out once more. Stalled a little bit just before they could get into opponent's territory, but it looked like they were putting together a decent drive before that point.
Yeah, again, this Annapolis team isn't bad. Jay Hayden's leading a really good core, guys. Obviously getting helped out by the likes of John Michael Sudduth and his progressions manager, Terrell Sutherland. You know, those guys are really helping out this team, and wow, Ottawa's doing some crazy shifting.
Struthers has time. He's going to gun it. Over the middle, cut! First down and more. That's Harlem to the tight end. Can he be stopped? And he will at the 12-yard line, but what a play on the first play for this drive here.
And, you know, my observation of them doing some pretty wild shifts on the defense for Ottawa was correct, but unfortunately that still wasn't enough, as Harleman finesses the deep safety on that play and is only just saved by GB Wallace, the man who he, well, finessed. And now, Annapolis down in the red zone.
That was a pretty pass by Struthers as well. Just uncorked that one over the middle to find his big-time tight end, the two-way player for Jacksonville. He's going to pass again. This time he's going to check it down. Finds one of his backs coming out of the backfield. That's Bizarre, the fullback, and he gets 5 on his first touch as a minor league football player.
Yeah, welcome to the SFLm, Bizarre. It's, you know, and that's a sort of good place to start off with. Nothing too crazy. Just simple stuff. And, you know, if you can do the simple stuff effectively, that's honestly what a lot of these pro league scouts are going to be looking at.
Opportunity for Annapolis to get a first down without hitting pay dirt. Struthers looking end zone. He's got it, man. Touchdown, Annapolis.
And Ronnie Shanahan once again getting wide open. It's almost kind of like a carbon copy of the touchdown play that Ottawa ran, where basically the receiver just got wide open, beat his man. Oh, there was the issue. The quarterback was forced to sit kind of on a too hard as opposed to going soft on that sort of play. And Annapolis is going to level this if they can get the extra point.
See Scotty Orman trot out here to try and add the extra points. High snap, but gets it down, almost blocked, but it's up and through. 7-7 now, the score. And Jack, I feel like maybe that defense for Ottawa's just on its heels after that one big play. Got Annapolis all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And there just wasn't anything they could do to really rebound.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that's kind of moderately concerning, like, because those big plays are going to happen every so often. But as a defensive coordinator and as a defense, you got to learn not to let that sort of stuff rile you up and just keep your head down and get right back to it.
Harper, who had the touchdown just drive ago, gets the return out to the 30-yard line, and we'll see Ottawa take over once again. John Lakeman striding up to the line. His single back is going to be Dwayne Salmons. He's been the bell cow once again in week 2 for the Cavalry. Lakeman's going to sling it out to Knight. Yeah, a big hit along that far sideline there. That hit issued by Adam Nold, the 6', 200-pounder. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 3.
Adam Nold came flying in and basically just gave him the stiff arm, gave him the little hit, laid him out. That's gotta hurt.
Little forearm shiver over there.
Yeah, looking like Doomfist from Overwatch, you know.
Single back again, and Salmons, and again Salmons is going to get field minus the one big run. Annapolis has put a clamp on the run game for Ottawa, and McFly gets another TFL.
Yeah, McFly, he's also been shown how to do some stuff throughout the season. He did a couple games on stats for the Charleston Predators this year. This game is chock full of Charleston Predators. Obviously, head coach Robert Cherry of the Ottawa Cavalry, and I'll let you take this one.
Knight with another impressive grab, another clutch grab will move the sticks out to the Ottawa 44-yard line. Continue, Jack Brown.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, the progressions manager for these Annapolis Navigators is Terrell Sutherland, general manager of the Charleston Predators. So, I mean, there's Predators abound in this game. A little bit of an inter-organizational rivalry of sorts.
Salmons again with another carry, and again gets buried behind the line. As it looks like Annapolis is keying in hardcore on that. Atello, and it looks like Volt getting in there with another stop.
Yeah, and again, Annapolis, they're doing good on the first 2 downs. They've been doing very good when stopping the run. And it looks like Ottawa should come out and pass on 2nd down, something they don't really do that often.
Lakeman, play action. Stunner steps, going to sling it out to Salmons. And just a check down there as Nold was able to make the easy tackle. So another 3rd and long coming up. We'll see if the Navigators defense can hold.
Yeah, they did get about a yard or 2 out of it, so that's good. You get forward progress, but probably not as much as they were hoping for.
End of 1 here in Annapolis. The Navigators and the Cavalry both tied at 7. This is the SFLm on YouTube. If you're watching it live, stay with us. Eric Vincent and Jack Brown along with you this evening for the second set of games here in week 2 of the SFLm season. Season 6, as it were. Lakeman going to uncork one, and again able to convert another 3rd down. And that has been the Achilles heel for this Navigator defense.
Yeah, and again, it happens once more. This time it's Isaiah King the 4th being the target. But this Ottawa passing offense, especially on these long-range situations, has been borderline unstoppable so far. In Annapolis, they need to find a way to stop it quick.
It's going to be a long evening of football for Annapolis if they are not able to stop a 3rd down all night. Handoff, Salmons trying to get the corner, doesn't. Good pursuit there by the Annapolis defense, able to make the stop. J.W. Hartshorn getting in there and making the stop. Second and long now. Press coverage here from the Navigators on defense. Lakeman, play action. Has a wide open man near the sticks. That's 1st down yardage and more as he slips a tackler and steps out of bounds on the spin move. What a nifty little play by Azami Mihata, the 2-way player from Motor City.
Yeah, Mihata got his first touchdown in his career in the major leagues on the last week of the season. And now here in Ottawa, he's still showing his moves. You know, shedding the tackler nearly could have broke one for 6 had he just gotten that spin move a little bit better. But hey, it's okay. Got the big yards. That's all you need.
Continuing to move the sticks and move the drive along. I formation this time for the Cavalry. Lakeman slings it out to the out route, and that's good for maybe a couple of yards. It was a good hit along the far sideline over there.
Yeah, this is good to see right now from Ottawa that they're finally kind of adjusting their game plan a little bit to clearly they know now that they can pass, and they're going to do nothing but pass on Annapolis until proven otherwise.
The Lakeman's numbers there, over 100 yards, over 120 QBR, and he'll continue to add to it here as he throws on 2nd and 8, checks it down. Salmon's coming out of the backfield, will get another 3 or 4 yards, and that'll move them inside the SFL red zone to the 17-yard line, 3rd and 6 coming up.
And for the first time in what feels like forever, Eric, Ottawa has a 3rd and manageable to deal with here instead of a 3rd and very long, so it'll be interesting to see if they adjust their play calling or if they keep going with the long bomb.
Play action. Lakeman throws it coming backwards is Mihata and couldn't quite regain his footing. He'll lose yardage back to the 21-yard line. It's going to be 4th down.
You know, that was a very impressive little feat of athleticism there, Mihata, you know, doing a little twirl while catching it. Unfortunately, went the wrong way. And you're not supposed to go that way.
It doesn't necessarily help when your quarterback leads you back that way.
No, it doesn't. It's not to say that Lakeman is completely absolved of blame here. It's just that, like, yeah, that whole play was kind of ugly to watch. Even if, again, really good feat of athleticism. I got to give Mihata that.
So Jacobson will come on and try to add 3 points, and add 3 points he does from 38 yards. That makes it a 10-7 ball game. Annapolis finally getting a stop and getting off the field. So we'll see how they respond on offense now.
Yeah, now Annapolis not really playing on the back foot. But obviously they still would want to play aggressive. They can get those big plays. Both these teams can get the big plays. It's not like, it doesn't seem like that's an issue tonight.
From just north of the 5-yard line, good little stutter step there, and that'll move it out to the 27-yard line. The SFL network is coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from the archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android or iPhone, or on your TV through Roku, Amazon Fire, Vizio, and more. The SFL network, where SFL creators come together. 1st and 10, I formation. Struthers going to sling it out to his running back, and that's going to be a good gain of about 4 yards for Chris Grant Jr., and that'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, another just decent sort of play right there from Annapolis. Good way to start off the drive, though.
Get a look at Joel Harleman. Had a huge gain on the first play of the last drive. Set them up with their first score of the evening. Struthers, again with time. He's going to find his man over the middle, near midfield, and past it to the Ottawa 49-yard line. Good catch there by Goldie Morrison.
Yeah, Goldie Morrison, the only true rookie on this, on either receiving core tonight, getting open and just cutting over the top, and caught it in what almost seemed like a bit of a health insurance throw. Caught it and then just got knocked right down. You know, those hits are going to hurt, especially when you're brand new to them like Goldie Morrison is.
But he did hold on to the football. That's the important piece of the equation. Struthers again is going to throw. And again wants it all. And he's going to have big yardage. Past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Good catch and run by Sheldon Hilton, one of the extra tight ends.
Yeah, Hilton there, looking a bit like if you ever watch a 5-star high school prospects film, you know, where they just get within like 3 players and they still just break away. You don't know how they do it. I don't know how he did it, honestly. Considering he had 2 Cavalry defenders swarmed on him, but that is huge for Annapolis.
Got sandwiched between those 2 Cavalry defenders and somehow bounced off both of them and got a few extra yards to the 25. Under 7 to go here in the first half. I formation for the Navigators. Knocking on the door once again. Struthers gonna throw again. Doesn't have anyone open. He's gonna check it down to Grant. And Grant will get about 5 out to the 21-yard line of Ottawa. Struthers again. Gonna check it down to Grant again. Tries to lower the shoulder. Doesn't get out of the backfield. That'll give us an opportunity to look at the Cavalry defense, which we haven't looked at yet. Crumgeddon at defensive end. Timothy Wellbrock-Busey and Timothy Connolly, the linebackers. Roy Towers at corner. Cody Tanaka, Matt Ryan, the free safeties. D'Amico Brewer and GB Wallace are the strong safeties.
Mentioned Matt Ryan's position there only after you say it.
Play action. Struthers trying to check it down again, but a leaping attempt to bat the football away is big number 94, Rob Gesser. And that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that was a bit of an awkward play in general. I'm not really sure what Struthers was trying to do right there. I think, now this may be wrong, but I think Chris Grant was trying to cross over, played it way too close to the line or something. I don't know. It was a very weird play.
2 weird plays in a row on 3rd downs from either team. And it will result in a field goal for either team, both from 38 yards. Huh, that's a little odd. So 10-10 now your score. We're just going to overlook that one.
Yeah, just look, this game is going to become like an eerie mirror of each other. All the scores will be exactly the same as each other. We'll be locked in a 3-hour-long overtime as the 2 teams trying to figure out how to break it.
Oh, please don't say that. I'm going to have to call the concession stand and make sure that they give me some chicken tenders if I'm up here, man.
I think I would have a corn dog in that situation.
Ah, corn dog. Good call.
Yeah.
Harper from the 15. He's going to make it out to the 31-yard line. 5:40 to go here in the second quarter. And if you're liking the game so far, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As the SFL approaches its 20th anniversary season, there is much more content to come. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLm action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. From the 31, Lakeman going to hand it off to Salmons, and again, the Navigators having his number behind the line. McFly, he's got to have about 50 TFLs by now.
Yeah, McFly, you know, for McFly and, well, really the entire offense, it's almost got to feel like Groundhog's Day. The exact same 3-down series happening over and over and over again. And watch, this is going to be another running tackle for loss. Now watch me eat my words.
Nope, Salmon's getting the run, and Salmon's actually getting a couple out of the deal. McFly couldn't quite bring him down, so back to the original line of scrimmage we go.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he got back. That's good on him. You know, good for Salmons, making me somewhat eat my words because it wasn't a loss.
He did gain some yards there, Jack.
Yeah, he did. I don't give him credit for that.
3rd and long, Lakeman has a wide open man top of the screen, but his momentum led him out of bounds. It's going to be a gain of 6, but not enough for the first down. It'll be a 3-and-out, and Annapolis will get the football back.
Yeah, but good thing for Ottawa though that they do have a contracted punter here, KL Barrett Jr. So he should definitely be pinning Annapolis back.
We'll see if he can flip the field here. Pressure coming, and he gets it away. just in the nick of time, and a good punt there. Back to the 25-yard line, so flip the field he did, as it's going to be a 27-yard line start point for the Annapolis Navigators to try and hit pay dirt with 4:19 left to go here in the first half. Offset eye for the Navigators. I'll say a handoff this time to Chris Grant Jr., and he gets maybe a few yards out to the 31-yard line. Good start there for first down.
Yeah, nothing too flashy. Of course, he got then knocked down by GB Wallace, the strong safety coming in to make the play.
Get a look at Struthers' numbers. 125.1 QBR, 144 yards through the air, and a touchdown as well. Another handoff to Grant, trying to bounce it off. Tackle that gets absolutely abused. Good grief, man.
I need to see if Roy Towers is owed any money by Grant, because, oh boy, that hurt. Just came in, gave him the old 1-2, you know, hit him to the ground. I need to see if there's going to be some Venmo transactions after tonight.
Oh, my goodness. 3rd and 7. Struthers, pump fakes. Pressure's getting to him. He's spinning around, and he's eventually going to go down. All the way back at the 22-yard line. It's going to be a 4th and 14. Struthers just couldn't quite get rid of the football. And that, my friend, is a coverage sack.
Yeah, and you can also see it coming from a long way, too. Ottawa was able to get the pressure in. Timothy Connolly eventually making the tackle two-way from the Motor City V8s.
Good defensive stand for Ottawa. Flips the script and gives them an opportunity at the football before the end of the half. And they'll have good starting field position as well, as they'll set up shop from their own 42-yard line with 2:39 to go. All 3 timeouts available to them, Jack.
Yeah, and definitely for Ottawa so far, they've shown they can score in a relatively short amount of time. They just need to make sure that they can they can get their ball, they can move the ball down the field on every single play. That's the main thing they need to work on.
Well, yes, they do want to get their ball down the field. Absolutely, Jack. Lakeman over to middle, incomplete. Couldn't quite connect with big number 34, Robert Ross, the fullback, and that falls incomplete.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect Robert Ross to be doing that after he came back from the dead from about a few hundred years. You know, just burned the White House and, you know, came back, decided to come back against the American Navy again.
Now, don't ruin the story, Jack. Spoiler alert.
Hey, you gotta teach the history, you know?
Teach the young kids as Salmons is getting a lesson taught to him in the backfield once again. And again, that one big run that he had earlier in the ball game, otherwise, nada.
Yeah, as they say, history repeats itself. And definitely has been repeating for the run game for Ottawa tonight. Pretty much a net zero for Salmons.
Lakeman uncorks one, finds a man, and again, it's been Michael Knight and it's been Gore Trafford. Those have been the two that he finds on these long... that's Isaiah King the fourth.
You went all on about the other two, but you didn't give credit to the man who actually made the catch. IK4 making the huge gain.
And that gets us to the 2-minute warning. 10-10 is the score. And Ottawa is still continuing to drive the football down the field. We love that theme.
It's very good music.
Lakeman, pressure's coming. He's going to go down. J.W. Hartshorn came on a corner blitz, and Lakeman had no answer for it.
Now, in usual cases, Ottawa's been losing yards on first down through their running game, But that time they lose it on a pass, and on a sack at that, Hartzman, and he's playing right back up the line. He's ready for more.
Lakeman slinging it out to his fullback, and Ross gets a couple of yards of that back, but it's still going to be 3rd and long for Ottawa coming up here.
Yeah, nice game there from Robert Ross. Got 6 yards on the play. And that was fine enough.
Lakeman's got 4 wide this time on 3rd and long. He's going to uncork one toward the end zone, incomplete. Plenty of good coverage out there by the secondary. John Patrick Levine, the strong safety, able to make the stop, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, that's very good to see from the Annapolis defense standpoint. Being able to make the deflection, make the play on the ball, because you know this is going to happen most of the time with Ottawa. And they get the deflection, and they're going to get the ball back with a chance to score before the half.
Annapolis trying to send some pressure, doesn't get there. They're going to let this one bounce, and it's going to get to the end zone and into the end zone for a touchback. So 52 seconds, just under a minute to go. Set the ball at the 20-yard line, all 3 timeouts. I think Struthers will probably uncork this one a couple different times.
Yeah, he'll definitely be launching some missiles down the field. We'll have to see if they're to his team or if they end up being dots to the op.
Start out with an empty set. Struthers will fire it into coverage and incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Harleman, who he hit on a big play earlier in the ball game. Couldn't quite connect.
Yeah, and Roy Towers was the man who was there to deflect the pass. Good job on him.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 20-yard line.
2nd down, not a whole lot of time running off the clock. Struthers with a handoff this time to Grant, who slips a tackler, and we'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. So another 3rd and long coming up here. Maybe Annapolis is just content to go into the half with a tie ball game.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. It would make sense from their standpoint. No need to be risky.
Another empty set. Clock rolling. Neither team has called a timeout in this first half. Struthers takes a snap, pump fakes, pressure coming from his backside, steps up in the pocket, more pressure coming, and he's eventually going to be sacked. Ottawa will call a timeout, and that's their 2nd as they lost one in the challenge earlier today.
Yeah, and Gene Struthers seemed to be going here, there, and everywhere within the pocket, doing a little dancey dance. And for Ottawa, they will get the chance on the punt return to maybe make something happen.
That's probably about all they'll have as far as an opportunity goes to move the football down the field. With only 7 seconds left on the clock. Although if they send pressure here, which they do not, clock hits 000s, and Ottawa will not get any more points on the board. Neither will Annapolis. We've got a 10-10 ball game here in Annapolis, Maryland, home of the Navigators, as they take on the Cavalry in week 2 of the SFLm. A good first half of play, Jack Brown, for both of these teams.
Yeah, but a very solid first half. Not there was that big highlight play from Annapolis. They launched it down the field to Harleman, but beyond that, not really been too many big highlight plays so far. And I'm honestly surprised Ottawa still has that many positive yards in rushing.
Well, this was the big run here, John. Or Jack. I don't know why I called you John.
Look, more people call me Jake than anything else, so I'm kind of impressed by that, honestly.
Yeah,
anyway.
Really? Anywho.
Yeah. You made me lose my train of thought. Yeah, so when it came to Ottawa's running game, that was really the big thing that made the difference here. Apart from that, they've been losing yards most of the time. And meanwhile, for Annapolis, their big issue's been the 3rd down defense. you know, they've been able to pin Ottawa back on the first two downs. But as I said earlier, if you can't be a good third down defense, you're not a good defense. Because Ottawa was able to keep the ball, keep possession, and keep moving down the field. It's a deadlock ball game. They both did things very well, but they also did some things very unwell. It's a game that's very interesting, and the second half should really bring some excitement.
Yeah, we will have to see which team ends up coming ahead, as both teams having success in the passing game, and for one reason or another, not a ton of success in the run game. Ottawa clearly being stopped by Annapolis' run defense, and Annapolis not really wanting to run the football at all anyway.
Yeah.
But the Navigators will get the football to start things off here in the second half of play. Fielded from about the 5-yard line. Good blocking, and man, gets taken out at the 26-yard line. That's where the Navigators will take over to start things off here in quarter number 3.
Just knocked him down, but, you know, as the song goes, he gets knocked down, but then he got right back up again. And now Annapolis comes right back out to start the second half.
You're never going to keep me down, Jack Brown.
Hey!
From the gun, Struthers back on either side of him, handoff. And that looked like a good play there for a hot second there, Jack, but Chris Grant Jr. couldn't quite get out of the backfield and hit the edge there.
Yeah, try the stretch play to the outside. Unfortunately, was not really going to work out, as D'Amico Brewer, I think that was just sitting there waiting. No, it was actually Mike Carroll who was sitting on the outside and just waiting.
Same formation, same play. This time trying to cut it back inside, and similar result, as Grant not able to get really anything. In fact, he'll lose maybe half a yard. I think that was G.B. Wallace getting in there on that one.
Yeah, and now we'll see if Annapolis kind of does a little bit of an does the Ottawa thing and gets a big first down here. It'd be really funny if they did. Really funny.
Struthers going to sling it down to the near sideline. Couldn't quite connect with Grant. Just good defense across the board for Ottawa, as they have come out firing on all cylinders, and that forces a 3-and-out.
Yeah, unfortunately, just seemed to bounce right out of the hands of Grant Jr. there. Could have had a first down, but alas, Annapolis going to have to punt it away.
Going to be a good punt for Annapolis. So about the 40-yard line. So Ottawa, without a contracted punter on their squad, doesn't have quite as big of a leg as K.L. Barrett Jr. does on the Ottawa side of things. So the Cavalry starting off with good starting field position once again.
Yeah, basically at midfield. Got 53 yards to go if they wish to score a touchdown, which I imagine they do.
I'd say that's a decent guess. Bunch receivers for the Cavalry. Salmons will run into that side. Good blocking. And he'll get a chunk of about 5 or 6 yards. Actually, they'll mark him down. That's a terrible spot. I felt like he got 5 or 6 on that play, not 4.
Yeah, the refs out here kind of giving my man Dwayne Salmons a little bit of disrespect on the run. He had the room to... He definitely got 5 or 6, but I guess, you know, they didn't give him for the 4 progress.
Shenanigans once again from R62. Trips this time for Ottawa. Lakeman will throw, stepping up in the pocket, finds a receiver towards the top of the formation. That's caught, but out of bounds. Couldn't quite get the toe in, was Isaiah King IV.
Yeah, rather unfortunate on that play for Ottawa. And, oh, another challenge. Look at him go.
The visiting team.
Saw one unsuccessful one in the first half on a similar play. And we will see if head coach Robert Cherry can gain success on this one.
Yeah, you only need 1 foot inbounds in this league.
I think he
got it.
might have gotten that one, though. I think that's a good challenge.
Yeah. I think the balls of the feet were still in bounds.
The pass was
Whoa!
Oh, more shenanigans from R62 as he denies head coach Robert Cherry that challenge. Ottawa losing a timeout again on a challenge. So they will have 2 remaining for the rest of the half.
You know, R62, well known for his stinginess, especially when it comes to Canadian teams. He just seems to not be the biggest fan of the Great White North.
So now a 3rd down, Salmons with the run, and he's not going to get much of anything. 4th down coming up here as Annapolis holds strong. Jupiter Juno making the tackle there, and they'll get the football back.
Yeah, and just as like the early game looked like it was going to be a little bit of an interesting offensive showcase, now it's turned right back into a defensive slugfest that these 2 teams were in last week against different teams. They didn't play again last week.
Picking up what you were putting down.
Yeah.
Another punt by K.O. Barrett Jr. trying to pin him back. That'll bounce just inside the 10, trickled close to the goal line and into the end zone for a touchback. Cavalry gave it just a bit too long on that one to down the football.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but still a good punt. Just seemed to be that it rolled a little bit too much. Maybe the wind was as back. You know, it happens.
Struthers and company will get another crack at the football here in the second half. Long way to go, 80 yards to hit pay dirt. And they will pass on 1st down. Grant with the screen coming out of the backfield. Good speed there, and he'll get 1st down yardage out across the 30 to the 31. Great play on the first play of this drive.
Yeah, and that was a good play. Just setting up the screen. They got the blocks needed, especially the lineman going downfield to block, knowing that the defender wouldn't be much of an issue, and just kept going forward. What a play!
Haven't really seen that just yet for Chris Grant or for Dwayne Salmons for that matter. The blocking out in front from the offensive line. See if it continues for the Navigators on this drive as they set up 1st down once more. Grant following his blockers, good stiff arm there, and will get pushed backwards, but he'll get 5 or 6 on the play out to the Annapolis 36-yard line as the run game's starting to get involved a little bit for the Navigators.
Yeah, they only had 4 yards in the first half, but now Chris Grant Jr. starting to see a little bit of production going his way in this second half.
I formation, 2nd and 4. Struthers going to sling it out to Grant. Good burst of speed and a good tackle there, preventing him from getting 1st down yardage. Timothy Connolly with a big hit.
That almost looked like a bit of a horse collar. I don't know about you, but like that seemed to be a little bit of a high, just like arm at the shoulder pad sort of hit.
Oh no, my dude, that's some football right there. That's some good old-fashioned football.
I guess it's just like, you know, in the moment. I'm so used to watching modern games where anytime the defense does anything, you're just looking for the flag.
Yeah, you got a good point there. 3rd and 2, free play, fresh set of downs here for Annapolis. Doesn't matter what they do, but Struthers is looking for more, and he's got more. Ronnie Shanahan, the DC Dragon two-way player, gets a huge chunk of yards into Ottawa territory.
Yeah, they're just going to take the yardage. Shanahan with a huge play and smart play awareness from Gene Struthers, knowing, hey, no matter what I do, it's not going to matter. So he just throws it down the field, and what a play.
Kudos to Shanahan for squirting free deep into the secondary. And he's feeling it as he lines up there at his wide receiver position. In the slot, toe at about the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 from the Ottawa 38. Hand off to Grant. Grant going off tackle, has blockers, and he'll get about 8 out to the 31-yard line. The SFL Minor League is underway, but it's never too late to create your player or get him or her involved in the next rookie class. Season 20's rookie draft takes place December 17th and 18th, so don't miss your chance. The sooner you create your player, the better your player will be on draft day. For more information, visit simulationfl.net. Just about 6 minutes to go here in the third. Struthers takes the snap, hand off to Grant once again, and Grant will get back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be a 3rd and short coming up here.
Yeah, and I want to go back to that first down play where it looked almost like Ottawa, like their whole defensive line got confused. They turned around the wrong way, and they're like, oh, running back other way. And then they chased after him only after that.
Rebounded nicely on 2nd down, brings up 3rd down. Pitch play to Grant, trying to follow his blockers. He does it, a good spin move, will get him the extra yardage needed. 1st down to the 26-yard line. Great play by Chris Grant Jr.
What a spin move from Chris Grant. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a replay on that, but man, that's a spin move that not even the best can be capable of most of the time. What a play.
Very well-timed spin cycle there. And that'll move the sticks for the Navigators. 1st down. Handoff to the backup this time, Zane Beard, as he gets maybe 3 yards. And that'll continue to move the drive in the right direction. Clock continuing to roll here in the 3rd quarter. Struthers shuffling in the pocket, gets rid of it, finds his halfback coming out of the backfield, and that's Beard once again, and he'll get close to 1st down yardage. Mark him down at the 19. Into the SFL red zone we go.
Yeah, Beard on the last 2 plays, he's been heavily involved in, been getting the few yards needed on these sorts of plays, and now they can just hand it off to Bazaar or Chris Grant Jr. if they want to.
We have not seen a run by Lars Bazaar. Might this be the time? And the gun, I'm thinking not. And another 1st down as Beard is going to get the 1st down and more. He's going to get into the end zone and snipe a touchdown away from Chris Grant Jr. What a play for Annapolis.
The backup running back, Zane Beard, comes in and he's been growing it, and now it's at perfection. They've been using the Beard oil. He just was running through the defense. No one even touched him as he ran to the end zone.
Beard is a well-oiled machine, as you can clearly tell, as he gets into pay dirt and gets the score. Ormond on to attempt the extra point and make it a 7-point ball game for Annapolis. Good snap, and the extra point is up and good. 17-10. Now your score in favor of the Navigators. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams, all the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. From about the 15, Harper finds a bit of a hole and makes it out to the 36-yard line. So more good starting field position for Ottawa, but this time they're playing from behind.
Yeah, now we'll kind of start to see what Ottawa can do when they play from behind, because we've never really seen them do it this season. Last week against San Jose, they just got out and they kind of just sat out in front. They didn't really do that much.
See how Lakeman and company respond here. From the gun, back on either side of him. Takes the snap, hand off to Salmons, who gets buried in the backfield once again, as this Annapolis defense has been all over him.
Yeah, it seems to be that, again, apart from like a run here or there, that Annapolis is really clued in on what Ottawa has been doing on offense, and it's not really been working out. Shotgun split back. If they run it out here, I'll be surprised.
And they will run it again. Same play, same result, basically, as Justin Marland gets in there from his DT spot and makes a TFL.
At some point, you got to wonder, what sort of stuff they got going on here in Ottawa when it comes to the playbook. Because if they're running those sorts of plays out of shotgun split back and they're not working, you got to wonder what's, what's been going on in there.
Annapolis on 3rd and long, hasn't stopped him yet. And that's a big play from the tight end, Mihata, as he gets into Annapolis territory. 1st and 10 from the 44.
Ottawa's offense, I swear, is like, it's like the movie Groundhog Day. Every single set of 3 downs ends up the same. 2 losses on runs, then when they get backed up, they get a huge chunk play on 3rd down, get the 1st down, most of the time. There's obviously been some exceptions, but most of the time it just seems to be this is how it goes.
Matt Ryan hit the nail on the head. 3rd and long is their money down as they continue to milk the riches as Michael Knight make the one-handed grab for a gain of 8 as he moves closer to the line to gain. Second and short. Handoff, Salmons trying to bounce it, out tackle, and he does! He's off to the races, it's at the 15, to the 10, and will get dragged down at the 7-yard line, ushered out of bounds, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Cavalry.
And finally, Dwayne Salmons, on the first 2 plays, picking up huge blocks, got it out to the outside, and got a big old run. And Ottawa now just a few yards away from tying it up.
Double team by both the fullback and the guard will definitely help on a poor defenseless corner. And that sprung Salmons free for a huge chunk of yards. 1st and goal now from the 7. Offset I, free play here as Salmons gets the carry, and he'll weasel his way down to about the 2-yard line. I think the Cavalry might take the yardage, or might take the the penalty here.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 57, defense, half the distance to the goal.
And they're going to take the penalty.
Yep, they will take the penalty there, so it's going to be a 1st and a little bit shorter now.
Makes sense, you know. Free play, you may as well take it.
So still 1st and goal. Ball just outside the 3-yard line. Lakeman going to swing it out, far sideline, got a man and gets stopped. No, they're going to call it a touchdown. The Cavalry tight end somehow makes it in. I did not think that he did.
Yeah, we're going to have to look at the replay on that, but Burrell just barely getting it in. Again, we're going to have to see this again. This is not a great angle for it.
I don't think he did, Jack. I mean,
yeah, and they're challenging it.
Doesn't agree with it either because they're challenging it. I think that's a good challenge there by head coach Jay Hayden.
Yeah, let's see.
By the way, tackle eligible on that play, coming out and making the catch. Good catch by Burrell, but I don't know.
that angle didn't help either. These angles aren't exactly helping us today. Let's see what.
The player did cross the plane. The home team will not be charged.
And they are going to overturn. They agree with us.
All right. So the call on the field is overturned. That's a first for everything.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they spot this. Probably at the goal line, I'd imagine, and they do. So it'll be 2nd and goal from about the 6-inch line. Delayed handoff, Salmons won't get there. 3rd and goal coming up now from the 2.
Not a big fan of the delayed handoff on a play like that. You need to be able to just get it in there quickly. If I were Ottawa, I might have honestly run a QB sneak in there.
Lakeman, handoff. Salmons goes the other way. I think he could have gotten in, Jack, if he just followed the play, but he cuts it back inside, and that's going to be a 4th and goal, excuse me.
Oh, you know, it's often, my middle school football coach often said that you got to just run where the blockers are taking you. He had a lane. He had a path. He went his own way, and unfortunately this time, His instincts weren't correct, and Ottawa going to have to settle for 3.
And the field goal is up and through from 20 yards, so the Jay Hayden challenge pays off, keeps the touchdown off the board, and Ottawa is forced to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, Annapolis keeps their lead, and realistically, I think that now that challenge, as this game develops, is going to be a huge mark of momentum shift.
We'll see a return to close out the third quarter of action. From the 5. Good couple of spin moves there, and Annapolis will get things going from about the 28-yard line. So we'll have 11 minutes left to go here just in a moment. Fourth quarter's coming up here from Annapolis as the Navigators have a slim lead over the Ottawa Cavalry. This is the SFLm live on YouTube here on Friday Night Football. Charlie's going to line up under center. He's got 3 wide in the formation. Struthers to throw. A little bit of a rainbow pass and couldn't quite complete it over the middle as that falls incomplete. Second down. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life. Inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. I formation this time for Struthers. Gene will hand it off this time, and a fumble. Ottawa is going to get it, and they're going to have primo field position here inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, that's not what you want to happen when you're in Annapolis. And did they hand it off? No, they didn't hand it off to Harleman. They handed it off to Grant. Oh, that is a nightmare scenario.
Football got punched free. I couldn't quite see who punched the football out, but a quick recovery there by Timothy Connolly gives the Cavalry the football in excellent field position here to possibly take the lead in the fourth quarter. Lakeman with play action. Pressure coming all around him. He's going to find Michael Knight. And Knight is inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. First and goal.
And the whole challenge success from Jay Hayden quickly unraveling before our very eyes as he just finds Michael Knight just on an island. And now Ottawa back within striking distance again, and this time for the lead.
And Knight has been impressive tonight. 6 catches, over 80 yards. As he sits on the sideline for this next play. I formation, definitely a run formation for the Cavalry. And it will be a handoff to Sammons trying to bounce it to the outside, and does. He'll get a good yardage to about the 3-yard line. Sets up second and goal.
A sufficient sort of play when you're kind of in a long first and goal. You're just looking to set up on that sort of play, so I don't really blame him for that sort of maneuver.
Couple more opportunities here for Ottawa to take the lead. Second and goal from the 3. Delayed handoff to Sammons, and again Sammons getting buried at the line of scrimmage. Said I, third and goal. Lakeman gonna sling it out to Sammons. This time he's gonna get into the end zone, unbothered. Touchdown, Cavalry.
And Ottawa takes the lead off of a very simple pitch and catch. Not too fancy, just moving it to the outside. Sammons this time stays where he's supposed to go. And Ottawa up by 2.
We'll see if they can make it 3 on the foot of Jacobson. Low snap, and gets it up and through. So 3-point ball game now as Ottawa retakes the lead. 20-17 now the score. Don't miss the Season 19 quarterfinals this weekend on SFL YouTube and Next Level Sports. This channel has you covered Saturday when the top seed, London Knights, welcome the Sioux Falls Sparrows, before Matt Wilson and the Mexico City Aztecs welcome rival Vancouver. Coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss Sunday's 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time quarterfinal on Next Level Sports, Arizona at Florida. For a channel guide and more info about Next Level Sports, visit nlse.com. Annapolis will take over at the 27-yard line following the kick return. And they find themselves in a familiar position playing down in this ball game. And the Ottawa Cavalry taking advantage of the turnover.
Yeah, now we're going to be seeing kind of what Annapolis is capable of. You know, they played down before, and, well, they're definitely going to pass. I'll say that much.
Brothers from the gun, empty set, pressure coming immediately, and he's going to go down. A free blitzer was in his face immediately, and Struthers had no opportunity to get rid of the football.
Darren Fields came in basically unblocked, and I need to, you need to question what exactly was happening on the blocking assignments. Obviously, you prioritize the defensive linemen, but to an extent, you gotta wonder why they didn't have anyone there to pick up the incoming linebacker.
Again, going empty is Struthers. He's got time this time. He's got a fire hit far sideline and almost picked off. A diving attempt was made by Roy Towers, and he almost had it.
Yeah, and had he gotten that would have been easily a pick six, considering how wide open that patch of green was in front of him. And now for Annapolis, they need to avoid going 3 and out, so they're going to need a big play here.
As much as you don't want to say that it's a must convert here, I mean, they still got 8.5 minutes to go. It's still, it's a must convert, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly a must convert. It's more so, in teacher speak, a highly recommended that you convert.
Struthers throws on the run, and that's not going to get it done. Again, the Ottawa Cavalry was in his face from the get-go, and there was nothing that Struthers could do, and he's lucky to get rid of the football over to Grant.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy play there, and unfortunately, Annapolis going to have to punt it to the Ottawa offense, which has had all the momentum and then some throughout this last few minutes.
Ellis gets it down there. And the return will put them at the Ottawa 42-yard line. So the Cavalry setting up shop once again with not a whole lot of yardage to go in order to hit pay dirt. And they're already up by 3, Jack, so they don't really need to do a whole lot. They can really go with their bread and butter, which is Dwayne Salmons.
Yeah. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Ottawa kind of kicks over into almost like a clock control mode.
Lakeman, great move there to avoid the sack and finds Michael Knight. That's an incredible play by John Lakeman to get a first down the football field.
You know, you don't usually run those sorts of plays when you're looking to clock control. Ottawa looking to lay it on thick, and what a move by Lakeman to evade the pressure, step up in the pocket, and launch a laser down the field. What a play.
That was a saucy play by John Lakeman. I formation here, fresh set of downs as they immediately get into Annapolis territory. Salmon's going to take the carry, get what he can, and that'll continue the clock to roll.
Yeah, just continues running the clock down. Now we're starting to see a little bit more clock control, especially now that they're arguably on the edge of their field goal range.
4 wide, bunch receivers towards the near sideline. Lakeman going to hand it off to Salmons, who gets tattooed in the backfield there. Olsen was having none of it, and that's going to be a 3rd and long now.
Yeah, just not a whole lot happening on a play like that. Just elbow him down. Nothing too crazy.
The Navigators have to get a stop here. Can't let them convert another 3rd and long. Lakeman in trouble, and he's going to get sacked. That was exactly what the Navigators needed. And that was a big sack by Ibari Amen Eaglin coming in from his free safety spot.
Yeah, Amen Eaglin just coming in, making the sack happen, and good news for Annapolis on top of that. Ottawa, this is most definitely out of their field goal range at this point. So they're going to have to punt this away. And I'd imagine Cale Barrett Jr. is going to go for the coffin corner.
If there's one person that can do it, it's Cale Barrett Jr. Good hang time there. It's going to be in the middle of the field and take an awful hop into the end zone. There's a good spot to land it at, but an awful bounce propels it into the end zone, and Annapolis will get off scot-free there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the ball didn't have any backspin on it. So when it made contact with the ground, it just went forward. So, unfortunately, Cale Barrett's going to need to learn to put a little bit more backspin on his punts down the line.
Too wide towards the top of the formation. Struthers with time, sidearms it, coming back towards the ball is his fullback. No, excuse me, that's the tight end, Joel Harleman, and he'll do what he can with it, get a couple yards, as looks like one of their tackles is going to be out for a couple weeks with a poke in the eye.
The old Three Stooges method. I need to know what happened, though. Yeah, because clearly, he must have just gone right through the eye, just go right into the eye socket. You know, must have been some brutal stuff.
Yeesh. Struthers. Again over the middle, and again connects with Harleman. 1st down yardage this time out to the Annapolis 33-yard line. Eric Vincent and Jack Brown along with you on Friday Night Football, the SFLm on YouTube. Annapolis looking for their first win and looking for a comeback win to boot, as they are down by 3 with less than 5 to go. Struthers, only place he can go is the fullback coming out of the backfield. That's Lars Bazar, and gets a huge chunk of yards, 7 yards to be exact, out to the 40-yard line.
I gotta say, the most bizarre thing about that play was the fact that there's all that room wide open in front of him. Surprised that it was that available.
So that was the most bizarre play on a play that involved Bazar?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. All right. Okay. Jeez. Struthers quickly gets rid of it. Finds his man. 1st down yardage, and a good stiff arm there by Goldie Morrison as he was ushered out of bounds. Struthers with 220 through the air today. Good day for him.
Yeah, just putting the stiff arm out there and then run down the field before he's eventually pushed out of bounds. And Annapolis moving the ball at will. They only need a field goal if they want to tie it up.
Offset I, 4:09 frozen on the clock. Struthers going to sling it out to Bazar again. Got 2 men out there ready to bring him down. And he'll get ushered out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at 4:03, but he won't get much out of it.
Yeah, and I guess really the only benefit to that is that it does stop the clock. And now even Annapolis kind of starting to transition to where I think right now they're on like a 4. They could have a 4. This is 4 down territory.
Definitely 4 down territory at this point. Inside Ottawa territory, 3 wide. Struthers finds a man, and that was Grant Jr. who couldn't quite reel it in. He was wide open and had some opportunity to get some extra yards there.
Yeah, and that was an ugly throw on top of it. Just A lob to the outside. Ugh, not good. Not good.
Not good. No likey. Not good. So now Annapolis faces a 3rd and long. Struthers doesn't like something. He's changing things up. Under 4 to go. Takes the high snap. Struthers steps up in the pocket. He's going to air it out into coverage and incomplete. Couldn't quite see who he was looking for on that play. I think it was Hilton, the extra tight end. And that brings up 4th down, and I think they're going to punt this here, Jack.
That's a little bit surprising, but I can somewhat understand it. Yeah, maybe they're just hoping to pin Ottawa deep.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. See what the defense can do for you. High snap. Ellis gets it down. It's going to bounce at about the 10, and there's some backspin as it'll trickle inside the 5 and be down. Oh, they'll call it at the 5-yard line as it was probably touched right around there. 3:44 to go. Ottawa backed up against their own end zone. An opportunity here for Annapolis. John Lakeman under center. He's got Salmons as the lone back. Salmons will get the carry, and the Navigators converge around him. He won't get anything as he gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's decent play in a position like this. If you're Ottawa, you just need to not make mistakes and not force a turnover. Those are the only 2 things you don't want to do. So right now, you're looking to possibly take this down with a 2-minute warning.
And if you're Annapolis, you have to get a stop, and you have to get it soon.
Yeah, you need a 3 and out if you're Annapolis.
Lakeman taking his time under center, hand off to Salmons. Salmons had a bit of a hole there. Got about 4 yards as he makes it out to the 9-yard line as he's had 50 yards on the ground here this evening.
28 of them, though, coming from just 1 run.
This would be a huge stop if the Navigators get to get off the field here with this 3 and out. 3rd and 6. Stacking the box, Salmons gets the ball. Good spin move, but he still won't get enough for the 1st down as the Navigators hold serve, and they will get an opportunity at the football following the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good set from both sides. They both achieved their goal. Ottawa was just looking to run down the clock, and Annapolis was just looking to get the ball back. Not really too much more you could have asked for from either side.
See if they snap the ball here before the 2-minute warning. I don't think they will. And they will not. 2 minutes to go here from Annapolis, Maryland. The Navigators looking to get a comeback victory here at home. Their first of Season 6 in the SFLm. But will Ottawa hold on? You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Eric Vincent here, Jack Brown there. It's been our pleasure to cover this evening's ball game with you. There's K.L. Barrett Jr. looking to flip the field. Not his best punt, as it looks like Annapolis is going to get really good field position, setting up shop from midfield.
Yeah, and realistically for Annapolis, too, I would say they only really need to get to about the 30-yard line if they want to tie it up with a Scotty Orman field goal.
We'll see what Gene Struthers and company can do. 1:53 to go. All 3 timeouts to work with. 3 wide to start things off. Struthers under center. Struthers, 7-step drop. He's going to fire at far sideline. Got his man, and that's a catch for about 3 yards. They'll go no huddle here.
Yeah, they didn't get out of bounds. That's the bad thing.
Shanahan with the catch, but he was tackled inbounds. As Jack mentioned, clock continues to roll. Struthers taking his time at the line as well. Short drop. Finds a clean pocket, throws it over the middle, again caught inbounds. 3rd and short coming up here. A minute 20 and counting. Struthers again. Gonna fire it. First down yardage. That'll move the sticks to the Ottawa 37-yard line. Continuing to roll as Morrison makes the catch there. Struthers airing it out. Diving attempt by Morrison. Couldn't quite reel it in. That falls incomplete.
And that would have been huge, too, because if Morrison had caught that, that would have almost guaranteed Annapolis would have gotten some points out of this. And as I said earlier, they only need 3 if they want to put this to overtime.
Carroll was a bit out of position on that, and I think Struthers saw that. Tried to just flip it over to Morrison. Just past his outstretched fingertips. Brings up second down. Two wideouts in the formation, both on the bottom of the formation near sideline. 2 running backs as well in the gun. Struthers gonna throw, and that's caught. Morrison again. They're gonna say he was tackled inbounds though. The clock continues to roll.
Yeah, I mean, he cut inbounds, so you can't really blame him for it.
Struthers over the middle, and it's picked off! Ottawa with the clutch interception, the clutch turnover, and it's G.B. Wallace. He won player of the game last week, and he might get it again this week.
Yeah, what a play over the middle. The ball bobbled out of the receiver's hands, and Wallace was there. Great situational awareness. Just catch the ball and take it the other way. It just broke the hearts of everyone in Annapolis, Maryland. They still need the first down, though, Eric. They can't just kneel it out yet.
Now in Annapolis with all 3 timeouts, they still have an opportunity at this football, but they need to make a move and make it fast, as Salmons will get about 5 yards there. Annapolis calling their first timeout, 2 remaining. We've got a pair of 20-17 ball games, a good set of games here in the second block of action on Friday Night Football. I formation this time for Ottawa. Salmons with the carry. And again, we're going to get wrestled down near the line of scrimmage. Annapolis burning their second timeout with 40 seconds to go. Crucial third down here for the Navigators. And off Salmons. Salmons will get the first down, and that'll do it. Annapolis burns their final timeout with 36 seconds left. But with the first down, the game is in hand, and Ottawa will move to 2-0.
And while it wasn't the flashiest run, just a few yards, I'm sure Robert Cherry and that whole Ottawa crew is jumping and jiving and doing a whole bunch of other good things, dancing a little jig. I'm sure if we had a coach's camp, that'd be very interesting to see right now, but alas, we don't. What a win for Ottawa.
Are we in the 50s and 60s, jiving and jigging?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just about 70 years off.
Okay, all right, fair enough. To each their own, my friend.
Yeah.
Good game from both of these teams, though. Annapolis looked like they might be able to come away with this thing as they were up 17-13, but a crucial fumble by Chris Grant Jr. putting the ball on the turf. And Ottawa took full advantage of that, scoring the go-ahead touchdown, and they never looked back. Ottawa with the 20-17 victory over the Annapolis Navigators. Ottawa moving to 2-0, and Annapolis falling to 0-2. Getting a look at the final game stats and highlights.
Yeah, this game, Eric, was a pretty good one, some would say. Annapolis and Ottawa, these two teams were deadlocked at the half. And they pretty much remained deadlocked almost the second half. A rather low-scoring affair from these two sides, but I know they wouldn't have it any other way. Ottawa improving to 2-0 under the new Robert Cherry-led regime. Great start from him. Meanwhile, Annapolis falls to 0-2 under new head coach Jay Hayden. But they're not really a bad team at all.
No, neither of these teams are bad teams in my estimation here. It is still early in the season, but both of these teams, they played much better than a week ago. Annapolis put up more points. They showed a bit more life as an offense. And Ottawa showed a bit more life as an offense as well, as there really wasn't any sort of dimension to their ball game a week ago against San Jose. They did just enough not to lose the ball game. But here, you saw them face adversity, you saw them weather the storm, and they were able to come out on top. And I think both of these teams, they might be playoff teams come the end. We never know how things shake up.
Yeah, still 6 games left for both these two sides. Anything can happen in the SFLm.
Player of the game honors are going to go to John Lakeman, 21 of 26, very efficient ball game for him, 219 yards through the air and 2 scores. Well, on behalf of my partner Jack Brown, my name is Eric Vincent. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the SFLm. Also want to thank Commissioner and Executive Producer Extraordinaire Cameron Irvine, commentator as well, as he's throwing in his commentary aficionado over on the other ball game. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, folks. Good night.